What up? Coming to you live from inside the crib. So for the longest, I've been wanting to make two style of videos, and I don't know if I could combine them in this one, or they're just going to be two different entities. But in today's video, I want to go over all the cars I bought since starting my YouTube channel, from my very first K-Truck to the pink Alto. And then outside of that, I also want to rank them from best to worst. I just feel like that's just two different videos, because in this one, I want to really just go over and show you guys all the cars I bought, you know, what led to me buying the next one. And then in the next video, I want to rank them from best to worst and say, hey, this one was the worst just because it was hard to find parts for, it was hard to sell it, it wasn't that fun of a driving experience, I didn't own it too long, and then I want that to be like its own video. So today what we're going to do is really just hop into my laptop. And for the last 3 hours, I've been going through my old iPhone, my old hard drives, just to find pictures and videos from when I owned the Honda Life, from when I had Mr. Rusty. All the OGs remember that car. From my first mirror walkthrough to my second mirror walkthrough to the Midget to the Terios, and then till technically my last car is the Alto. But we have some honorable mentions like this one and then some other ones. So let's just get into my laptop. Let's get into here and let's start with the car that made all this possible. I'll even go back a little further before we even got the K-Truck. So as you can see right here, May 30th, 2020 was the first time I ever saw a K-Truck in person. I drove 12 hours to South Carolina to buy a Unos Roadster, and after getting there, I quickly realized $7,000 for an NA Miata with a hardtop that really wasn't in the best condition, wasn't what I want to spend my money on. I thought the K-Trucks were cool, but I was like, what am I going to do with a two-seater truck? I mean, like, I just wanted a right-hand drive car, if I'm being 100% honest, because I've been wanting to go to Japan forever, and I couldn't because the country was closed due to COVID. So I ended up just not buying the Roadster. I ended up going to somewhere we're not really going to mention. I don't really bang with them anymore, but I ended up going somewhere else. And actually, my 5-year anniversary is this summer. I bought my first JDM, my first Cape, my first everything, July 30th, 2020. So it's almost my 5-year anniversary, which is pretty crazy to think about. From there, I made a bunch of videos you can see. This one did really good. 40,000 views, sound deadening, wheels. You know, I was just building it up. I wasn't doing it nearly as quick as I'm doing it now. I mean, I bought the truck July 3rd. And, you know, August 1st, I put wheels on it. So a whole month later. And then I put a radio weeks after that. I mean, YouTube still was kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? And then I also have my Turbo Miata, which is always going to be like the car I wanted. But here you can see some pictures of it. It was just a standard S83 4-wheel drive. It was a 4-speed. Nothing fancy, nothing cool about it. The interior was nice. In due time, I ended up making it look like this. So I painted the bumpers over. I put some rims on it. I painted these over. I think I painted this over. Painted the bed. Painted the calipers red, actually. I wasn't into the yellow for some reason. You'll see why later. But these are red. These are red. I put WayBeforeTheFame.com, which, you know, was pretty cool. It was a fun car. I liked it a lot. Someone bought it. Shout out to the homie. He actually bought it to put, like, Surrons in the back. And, you know, that was my introductory into the JDM and K-car scene. I'm not going to talk about pros and cons. I almost got into that, but that was the first car I bought. Second car I bought was the Mitsubishi Bravo from the same seller. I feel like I paid way too much for that, but this is how it looked when I first bought it. It had some decals that were kind of frayed. It had some wheels on there were nice, but these are way too big, so they rubbed. I had to get replacements. And this was a great van. One of the coolest things and things I love to show off was the fact that this seat went forward and you could lay down here. And then it had like power windows everywhere. You can see here that the calipers were indeed painted yellow. I think that's when the bug first hit. And then after a while, I put this really time-correct decal on there. It almost looks OEM. And then again, I put at WayBeforeTheFame this time because I feel like WayBeforeTheFame.com made no sense because I wasn't like an exporter or anything or importer. So you would go on that website, I guess, to buy merch, but it had nothing to do with the cars. And then I eventually sold it to Frank. Shout out to Frank. He's probably watching this right now. And it was cool. I sold it for some good money. I think it was a great van. I took it on a bunch of road trips. I had drone footage. This clip right here makes me want to get another drone, but it was a good time. Next, we got the first ever giveaway. The first time where I was like, oh, this is like a good idea. And it was the Suzuki Carry. Shout out to Damian Harris, I believe is the person who won that car. So for this, we're going to have to go to my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I think you should. So this was the car that, and this is when I was like, all right, I'm kind of figuring out, like, let me put some time and energy and money into these cars and make them a lot better, because I don't know if there's another YouTuber who was doing this 5 years ago. And I love cars. I love slow cars. I love modifying them. And even 5 years ago and still now, I'm not the best mechanic. I wouldn't even know if I am a mechanic, period. But I knew how to visually make them look good. And I knew how to do basic stuff. Oil change, plugs, wires. I could definitely diagnose a lot more now because I've had so many cars. But this is how we bought it, like this. You know, no wheels, no bed, no anything. And then I just show like the transformation. So I mostly post a lot of before and after. So this was the before. You know, seats kind of ugly. Rear poster blue. I would love to know where this truck is right now also. But, you know, I just make it look a lot better. I think this is still something I want to do now. That shop, that rear upholstery shop did me really dirty. That's why I never went back. But huge difference on the bed, you know. Did all this myself. Posted on YouTube. It was just fun doing this style content. That one I owned for maybe a couple months. Like I said, I just did it for giveaway purposes. I thought it was just fun to give back. I think it's when I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I think that giveaway took like 3 months. After that, we bought the first Jimny. Shout out to Josh at 844 Imports. This was at a private event. It was automatic. It had an exhaust. It had mirror tint. And it was doing donuts. It was a lot of fun. Again, I don't have that many pictures of that one, so we have to go back to my Instagram. But this is how it pretty much looked. Because I'm such a Miata fanboy, it was very easy for me to just put round headlights and, you know, do that on every car. So that was the first thing I did. And that's pretty much it. I didn't really do many or any modifications to this. I see a new battery there. And I bought this from Josh. It was fine. I forgot the person who won this one. I forgot his name, but he actually enters in a lot of giveaways. Shout out to him. He was a pretty cool dude. But automatic, nice Jimny. It was cool. Put a radio in there. Yeah, that was a fun car. Next, we got the Wagon-R. Non-turbo. Again, bought this from Josh at 844 Imports. Automatic again. Yeah, it was cool. You know, like, just a fun car. Cleaned it up a little bit. Again, as you can see, the theme is now happening. Yellow calipers, yellow drums. We do some rims on there. I actually did a really cool series, the Bravo versus the Wagon-R. You should go back to my old videos and watch that because that was a lot of fun. Like, I need to go back to doing stuff like that. But that was a really good car. Like, again, we're going to rank them in a separate part. But after that, we got a second Jimny, again, from Josh at 844 Imports. So it's 3 cars back to back to Josh. And this is when I want to say the channel really started to get like some... With this Jimny, as you can see, it wasn't in the best condition. So I just learned so much about cars. It was the first time I ever did shocks. It was so easy. Again, you know, we don't even have to say what happened there. And then again, the headlights, because that was something I did. And then first time I ever put fog lights on a car. And then first time I... Yes! First time I put a blow-off valve and intake kit. First time I wired up gauges. So this was a nice setup here. And then first time I wrapped a car. So I did this nice like purple chameleon wrap job. Shout out to J Monet. I painted these wheels. I got these actually from Japan. I put them on the car. I put the G-Wagon style tail lights on the car. And then this was the final product. So, you know, the blue and purple tints. All this got painted over. Black wheels, black hubs, Suzuki caps, yellow again, and it was sick. This was a really nice car. The homies out in Austin won this in a giveaway. This is when I just feel like I actually, that was my car. You know what I mean? Like, I actually modified it. But the cars prior to that, as you can see, this one, I mean, I kind of modified. I did some stuff to it, but nothing too crazy. This one, it was so clean that there was nothing to do besides putting that wrap. This one, we did a lot to, but... I don't know, I didn't go as crazy, but this one I did a lot too. Wagon-R I did very little too. All I did was put rims and radio and stuff like that. And then this one is like, I did the interior over, like there's so much if you go back to the videos. I'm talking about top to bottom, literally from the whole interior done over, like re-carpeted, re-everything, re-sound deadening, fixed the rust. I did everything to that car. And it was sick. It was sick. Next, we got, this is like a weird transition into the Way for the Fame. Next, we got a Toyota Crown. Our first non-K, our first full-size vehicle. But the only reason I got this one is because we have to go back to my Instagram now. Is I wanted to buy a Motocompo. And as you can see the bags here, I just didn't have a way to transport it back to my house without paying for shipping. So I bought this Motocompo for $6,500. And I bought this Toyota Crown, I think, for the same price. It was actually pretty crazy. So I bought both of these, I think, for almost $7,000. And I just threw it in the trunk and I just drove it home. I don't have any more pictures. That's odd. I thought I had more pictures. But yeah, this was my Motocompo. Shout out to the homie in Texas JDM. Shout out to, this was the giveaway winner. Hey, man, they let me stay at their house. Super cool people. I don't know if they're watching right now, but super cool people. The first time I actually saw an SMX too, that was a fun trip. But yeah, no, I drove this, right here. I drove the Crown all the way back. Met Texas 2, had it in my Airbnb. It was just a fun trip. Stopped in New Orleans, got to take a picture of the hot dog. Great trip. Great trip. After that, again, very oddly, we got a Delica. We got a intercooled turbo L400 column shift stick Delica. So I went from only K's to Crown and then Delica. This, again, though, super cool car. Drove it all the way to Atlanta and back again for the same fun road trip. It had doilies. It was cool. It was cool. Again, I'm not going to review it too much, but that was the next car. It was nice. It was really nice. Then after that, we bought another. Well, I got the Crown from Texas JDM. I got the Delica from the homie who lives in Arizona now. Damn, I forgot his name. He actually won a giveaway too. He won a Jimny from Josh. Next, we got a Honda Life. This is the beginning of the Honda fanboy. At this point in my life right now, I've never owned a Honda, and you're going to see a very quick trend. Actually, the first Honda I owned was the Motocompo, right? So that was the first ever Honda. And then we got a Honda Life. I got this again from Josh at 844 Imports. Automatic, came with tries, technically. And it was cool. I put this decal on there. I tried to do it very time correct, very nice. I love this car a lot. Shout out to Tiki Bunny. He had a Life. His had fog lights, though. But yeah, it was automatic. It was cool. I liked it a lot. I let a lot of people drive it. Shout out to homie Tim. He actually bought it from me. Again, you could see the yellow calipers and drums. Honestly, a very underrated car in my book. Very, very underrated. I would 100% get another one. From there, I bought a Honda Beat from a seller we're not going to mention because I don't really bang with them. But that's my mom. This was like Jimny Part 2. So I bought the Beat. It wasn't perfect. It had a lot of paint fade. It's been sitting for a long time. The gas cap was yellow. It didn't come on these tries. I actually put those on there. It came on the stock wheels. But I had these from I don't know where. I just had them in the hoard, I guess. And then this is when I brought it to Teggy. That's when me and Teggy's relationship kind of first started. And then this is when I went in. So you could see in this picture alone. We have a new back window, strut bar. These are carbon fiber strut bars. Intake, yellow calipers, antenna, everything. You could see me sanding here, just going in. The plan was to wrap it orange. So I bought this satin orange wrap, which I still have. And I didn't realize that wrapping satin orange was very difficult. So we ended up ditching that. And I did like this Kelly green. So this is also when I first started working with the homies in City Field. So I brought them here so they could fix this dent. You can see right here. This one. This is a before. But you can see this dent. I was like, let me fix that so I can wrap it. And then me and Jay Monet again. We wrapped it. It took maybe like 3 days. It wasn't that bad, but it came out really nice, at least in my opinion. I got some of the stuff painted black. This is the car that I have no idea where it is currently. Like the person won the giveaway in New Jersey, and I don't know if they're watching right now. I couldn't not tell you. Like you couldn't pay me. I have no clue where that car is. But then we bought a lot of fun stuff for this. T37s, roll bar. You can see all the black bits here. I got all of this repainted. The spoiler, everything got repainted. Looks really good. TEs, yellow calipers, of course. And that was when I first started doing the H4s and everything. This kind of looks like a famous scene. We're going to keep it PG, but I thought it was a funny picture to take. And then next, another Honda. So I got a Honda Street from the homies in Howard Beach. They're kind of BS too, so we don't got to talk about them. But I bought it like this, wasted no time, threw these black wheels on here. And then I would say this is kind of when the beginning of my hatred for black wheels started. Because I felt like it didn't give it enough pop or anything. It just looked like Steelies. So I wasn't crazy about it. Right away, I took the wheels that were on the Beat and swapped them onto here. You can see that the Beat ended up just staying with the phone dials, which look nice. You know, I didn't mind them at all. 2-wheel drive, fuel injected, double sunroof, chocolate brown interior, stick shift. I got it for cheap too. I think like $3,500. I got that car for crumbs. No title, but you know, shout out to Ramon. He won that car and it's in Texas right now. I don't even think he drives it, which is pretty sad. Ramon, I don't know what you're doing with that one. But that was like 4 back-to-back Hondas. So Honda Street, Honda Beat, Honda Life, Honda Moto Compo. I was just Honda, like a straight year of just Hondas. And then next we got the car that most people thought was a piece of crap and I absolutely love. So we got the Mitsubishi Minica. This is how I bought it. You know, it was whatever. Threw some wheels on there, threw a strut bar on there, got the whole car repainted.
Do a 360.
And then I painted the calipers blue. I have no idea why, but I did blue for some reason. Of course, I threw underglow.
Bye-bye, Minica.
That was the first time I did underglow on the car too. It was pretty sick. And then I think after that, this is where the heaters really come, honestly. So we go to Cappuccino. We got this car from JDM Hawaii. Drove it all the way back from Los Angeles. One of my proudest moments. Teggy working his magic. And I mean, what do I even say about this? Like, just an amazing overall car. I didn't get it amazing though, if I'm being honest. I got it, it was kind of a piece of crap. That's why we brought arguably one of my favorite purchases in life. One of the best purchases I've ever made in my entire life. We bought Mr. Rusty. So Mr. Rusty was literally Mr. Rusty. And we parted that thing out right away. It had all the little, like, just the little tiny parts that I needed for my car. This one had. But the biggest highlight was the N1 ECU. I didn't know it had an N1 ECU. I think I bought it for like $2,500. And the ECU alone with, like, the speed sensor, so many parts. Like, I had no lining in my trunk. That was an amazing purchase. Like, and the crazy part is I sold it to someone that was going to use it for a Suzuki carry swap. Kind of similar to what Anything Wheeled is doing. And then from there, I went to Japan and I got my first ever import. Every car prior to this has all been purchased stateside in America. So the first car I ever bought was the good old, again, Honda Z. This is me literally picking it up from the port. Shout out to Car Deal Page. That's when the relationship started.
First time looking at the Honda Z in America.
And the battery was dead.
It doesn't start.
It was a great car. Took it again to that private park. Man, that was a... Then I also took it off-roading in the dirt. And then I took it to Teggy to work his magic. We got it nice and clean, and then that's how it looked. This car, again, I have no idea where it is currently. It got shipped to Washington, and I don't know if that person goes to car meets. I don't know if they're watching this video. I don't know if they sold it. I don't know what's going on with that Z, but hopefully it's still in great condition. From there is when I pretty much kind of first met David.
Stay tuned for the next couple videos.
I believe this is called the HA22. We got a white Alto, my first Alto. New body style. It was 4-wheel drive, stick shift. I know this dude still watches my videos. He's a Patreon homie too. But great car. Great looking car. Had fog lights. Painted the calipers yellow. Drove it on a couple road trips. Put LEDs. We dressed up the engine bay. So we did an intake, strut bar, blitz, brand new, blow-off valve. just made it nicer. It had a weird sound with the 4-wheel drive, if you guys remember, but overall, pretty good car. I think that's a car that some people don't really, I don't really think about it, for being honest. Then some honorable mentions. Shout out to the homie Gio in Cleveland. So I didn't own this Acti, but this was the first time because of the whole thing that happened in Baltimore, I think when the bridge collapsed. There was a lot of people having issues with getting cars picked up, so he actually gave me a budget, and this was the first ever Way Before the Fame build for another person. Like, similar to what I'm going to do in Japan. So he was like, hey, can you pick up the Acti? I think he gave me like $2,000, and he was like, you know, just do it Way for the Fame spec. And that's what we did. So you can see here, we like cleaned everything up. We added wheels on there. We put a lip, we cleaned it up, we put a Honda logo. This was the final product. We put a K-plate on there. So, red Honda badge, Volkswagen lip, K-plate, all this was black. Teggy worked his magic. VXs, new tires, yellow calipers, painted the bed, LEDs of course. And then just we drove it. 13 hours later, the good old Honda Acti made it from New York City all the way to Cleveland. We also did maintenance and everything. Then again, another honorable mention. This one we didn't go as crazy. I think the homie Jimmy maybe was like $1,000 or something. But we did it to Jimmy's spec. We didn't do it Way for the Fame spec. So he wanted the bed blue. Me and Mendy did that. And then this is how it looked. We didn't get to put like rims or go anything crazy, and we didn't have to drive it anywhere, but this is kind of like something we could have done. We did still bring it to Teggy though. We did still put a double din. It still got all freshened up. So we got double din 8 Toto. And it was automatic. It was cool. This was 2 honorable mentions. They're not my car, so I wouldn't count them, but they were on the channel. We built them up. We also had this one where I learned how to change a fuel line. That was kind of cool. It was an older Hijet. And then this is when we got the first mirror walkthrough. Throwing the wheels on there. Bringing it to the decal homies. Letting a lot of people drive it.
Way Before the Fame for the new K truck. Waffle coming soon. That's gonna be.
And then this was when I realized.
That's too risky. No, we couldn't get someone to take a picture of us.
That I couldn't sell things out of it because it just, the little windows on the side just weren't good enough. Like these little windows, I needed a window. I needed it to pop like how my mirror walkthrough is currently set up right now. And then remember this? And then yeah, we did an 8 Toto, we did everything. It was nice. But this had to sell right away because I found this. This is when I found the Forever K. This is when, shout out to Daniel Chavez, I found the turbo mirror walkthrough. I got it in Japan, and we went nuts. Nuts. Now we're cooking. I don't love that he's sitting on my car, but it was all worth it because look at this. And honestly, I can't wait to get back from Japan. It's crazy to say that, seeing how I'm not even there, but I can't wait to go back and then just do this so much more. Like maybe even at like SEMA, like really sell stuff, merch, everything. I just can't wait for it. But let's listen to that turbo swapped mirror at that. Next, we got the Town Box. So we end up trading the Cappuccino. We got the Town Box. Very underrated car. Turbo, automatic, 2-wheel drive, quick, comfortable. The homie out in Maryland currently owns it. We trade the Cappuccino for that. And it's great. I don't really have much content on it. Ranking style, we'll get there when we get there. But then this is when we got a horde of blue cars. So Cappuccino, in my opinion, I didn't even really own it. I'll put it here just because like I did import it, I did buy it, but it was supposed to go to someone. They end up flaking, which was annoying. Damn, my camera just died. But they ended up flaking, which was annoying, which led to me just selling it to Giovanni, and then he ended up having a customer for it. So that one was kind of, you know, whatever. Next, we got the Daihatsu Little Person. So I went a little crazy on this one. I think it looks great. We got it, and it had mismatched wheels, if you guys remember. And, of course, yellow calipers. And then this is kind of me, you know, after all said and done. We did a lip to it. We did the wheels. We did new tires. We did this logo, which is reflective. We got it nice and detailed by Teggy. We did an A-Toto. We put a K-plate, of course. And we got it looking nice. I think it was a really fun build. This one is definitely up there on the ranks. Then for some reason, I also bought a Terios. While having all of these 4 cars at my house pretty much, I bought a Terios just because I wanted an off-road build. I wanted something cheap. I wanted something stick shift. And I wanted just something to have fun with. So that's how we got here, honestly. We put LEDs for JDM plate, A-Toto, cleaned it up, listed it for sale. Giovanni actually bought that one too and then sold it for someone else and made it even nicer. But I did end up going off-roading, so... What I wanted to do, I ended up doing. So I'm not even mad about that. Another car that we don't even really have to talk about much, but the Serena. Again, this one, I don't know how I bought all these cars, why I bought all these cars. I had 17 cars at once. But the one that's never going away is the Mira. But Serena, we didn't do much of this. We did LEDs. I bought rims for it. The homie out in Massachusetts, I believe, won the giveaway on this one. And it was a great van. I honestly bought the Serena first and then got the Terios after. But it happened so close together that if I didn't have the Terios, I would have had more content with the Serena. But from there, we bought a pretty underrated car. We got the
manifold, and we did the intake on, secured this, shortened this, so it's nice and tucked away there.
Shout out to me for having all this in the Horde.
We did some maintenance on it. We threw the heart-shaped rims on there. We painted that. I drove all the way to Boston. Next, let's talk more about this one. It was cool. It was automatic, but it was still a lot of fun. I had a great time modding it. I had a great time just driving it. I think the person that bought it is actually thinking of selling it. So if anybody's interested in buying this, let me know. He probably wants to sell it around like 7, 8. So if you're interested in this car, let me know. And then we're getting closer to current time. So we bought a SMX in Japan with the homies from Car Deal Page, which you can see right here. And we drove this one all the way back to New York. First thing we did, boom. See the difference? Tri-spokes. But this is a fun car. Orange interior. Teggy really went crazy on this one. I don't know if he's ever detailed a car for me more than the SMX. Shout out to Hervey Irvin, who got this one. When I tell you this car was clean, that car was clean.
Look at those tri-spokes go.
So that was a fun car. And then we have the Carry, which it kind of goes back to this picture. Like, this picture is very monumental into the channel because it was just too much. And then you add this. And then you add this. This one was a quick build and quick flip. And then you add this. I just had too many cars. So this one, I didn't really do anything to it. Teggy again worked his magic. Shout out to the homie Gio again. He bought this one. You know, that was cool. It had a turbo timer. It was a great car. It was a great car. I just was too overwhelmed and then focused on Japan, which is literally a week away, where I couldn't do that much with it. Next, we got the Mighty Boy. Mighty Boy, very similar to every other car we're talking about. Just too many cars. It had no issues, but then it had issues. The paint was kind of the only real issue. I bought these wheels for them. I never was able to even put them on, but this is going uphill, by the way. That's why I kind of died out a little bit. But what do you know? This is very up there on the list, though. We're going to get there when we get there, but that's very up there. This was a really cool car. I hope I can find another one in Japan. What more can I say about it? It's cool. I mean, this one I didn't get to do everything I wanted to. This one I didn't get to do everything I wanted to. And in a way, I guess this I could have done more to, but I was just overwhelmed with cars, like kind of how Mendy Imports is right now. It was just too many things at once, and as a content creator, it wasn't fun. Then we got the pink Alto, which, if you guys remember, looked like this. We're talking about a single wiper, this ugly air horn thing, bumper hanging. I put these wheels on. I had even worse wheels on there. I had no exhaust. Remember, I had no exhaust. And then Teggy worked his magic. We made it look 1,000% better. We did LEDs. We added the pink. We added the Hello Kitty ATC reader. We drove it to the city.
Want to take videos here?
Look at it shine. And then we drove it on a 35-hour road trip. And then it is for sale right now for $7,000. And then that's pretty much it. That's kind of the end of my cycle. I can't believe I did this kind of in one take. And then another honorable mention. The WayBeforeTheFame carry in Hawaii, which is also for sale if anyone's interested. But this one wasn't at my house, so that's why I put it last. But I want this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Japan in 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to helping you guys buy a lot of cars. I'm going to be doing my first giveaway in a couple weeks as well. I was with someone today, actually. They came to look at the Alto, someone I know personally. And they said they have $20,000 allocated for me to find them some cars. They want me to find them an Aristo and Hiace. So I haven't really figured out exactly how I'm going to go about that. As far as, like, do I make a fee, like a flat rate fee to find the car? Do I have people give me a deposit? I guess stay tuned for that information. But I really want to rank these cars too. Like, I want to spend some time ranking them and seeing, like, why it's this one and why it's not that one. But I'm in this video here. Thank you guys for watching. Road to 100K. Road to 40K. Oh. Whoa. Road to 40K. Let's get there very soon. Peace out. How does that... I think this is an animation, no? Hey, thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.